Thank you for listening to another episode of TeeVo The Beard. This episode has been brought to you in part by social support from Mark Gunn. Find out more about the Celt Father at markgunn.com and look him up on iTunes under Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. It's also been brought to you by support from Blame Your Brother Podcast. You can find out more about them at bybpod.com. And also, of course, we'd like to thank all of our lovely listeners. Thank you and enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of TeeVo The Beard.
You cannot see it, but I am TeeVo, and that is The Beard.
Yes.
And we are back to our regular groove now.
Pretty much,
Shows are back.
It's different shows.
Different shows,
Yeah.
but shows in general are back.
Yes, but we are getting our regular shows back very soon.
You know, I was thinking about it. All the shows we're talking about today, none of them are what we talked about last year.
That's true. Yeah.
And then when next week, when Supergirl and the Flash come back, those are the two that are returning that we'll be talking about. Yeah, because if everybody who's familiar with our show, we don't talk about Arrow, Gotham.
I will give Legends of Tomorrow another chance.
You give it a nod.
I will.
and I've talked about it.
Yeah.
I
mostly about what you don't like about it.
That's true. And the part that I really loved, as I've told him, got rid of. So, boo points on the show.
Yeah, but as he mentioned, just because he's dead doesn't mean he's dead.
That's
true.
Never know. But will I get him back next week?
No,
I
probably
don't
not.
think so.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're getting Barry back though, so who knows what's going to happen?
We'll get into more of that.
Yeah.
But first, I guess I would like to start off with the Inhumans.
Yeah. So you saw it in IMAX.
I saw it in IMAX a month ago now.
Seems about
about a month ago.
4 weeks, a month.
And like let me clarify something before we get into now that the Beard has seen it, now that America has seen it.
Right.
When I say I liked it, I meant in the general sense of I didn't hate it.
Right, yeah.
Because if I have an agenda on our podcast, to you dedicated dozen, I try to bring some positivity.
Yeah.
And the amount of negativity...
Especially if the word Marvel is in front of it.
Yes, but the amount of negativity surrounding the Inhumans, I was trying to counteract that.
Right.
I think... I'd have to listen back to that specific episode, but I think my overall point was I liked it in the sense of I didn't hate it. Is it good? That's up to opinions.
Right. Yeah.
But is it that bad? No, it's not that bad. And I wanted you to kind of feel the sense of it's not that bad.
Well, if I remember your review right, it made me where if I wasn't already planning on watching it, it wouldn't have necessarily swayed me to watch it, but it wouldn't have made me avoid it at the same time.
That's great.
But of course, it does help that I was already planning on watching it because it has Marvel in front of it.
Yes. So now that you've seen it, we won't do because the first week was pretty much what they showed in IMAX.
Yeah.
We won't do a plot. If you want to know what happens in the first two episodes, go back and listen to that one.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do reaction from your side. I've seen it. I told you what it's about. What did you think?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with my first review that I gave you just literally in passing.
Yes.
I told TeeVo that The Inhumans is not great.
No,
that's my knee-jerk review there because it's not unwatchable.
Yes.
It's not the worst thing ever produced on television.
It's not. Could it be better?
It's not S.H.I.E.L.D. by any means.
Could it be better?
Oh, it could be a lot better.
And we have said, and I might have even said it in my review, I think the thing that really dooms this show is the finite lack of character development.
Right.
Had they have done it on S.H.I.E.L.D. Or any other medium, or maybe focused more on it within the first episode of their own show.
Right.
Because the thing is, I compare it to many other shows that we care about the characters. When something happens to them,
you care.
You care. We want to know what happens.
And I literally spent the first episode of Inhumans going, I don't care.
Yeah.
Who is that? What's going? Why is he betraying her? And
if you remember, I said if this show is not for the casual fan of superhero movies.
Not at all. No, you have to know something about what you're getting yourself into because At the beginning, I mean, the very first thing it said is Medusa. I'm talking to Bolt about. Do you remember when we weren't king and queen?
Yes.
But they never actually explain what that means, at least in these two episodes.
Yes.
So if you don't have a familiarization with the existing product,
Right.
then you're like, okay, are they self-declared king and queen? Is this an actual royal line? Are they really from the moon?
Yes.
There's a lot of questions.
Now, also for you listeners, just know that our recordings to upload dates a little wonky because of the Friday thing thrown on. Yeah. So you may be listening to this and going, that third episode was great. Or, oh, wow, stop watching.
Right, yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen.
On episode 3, they could explain they could have out a whiteboard and be writing down everything, showing us the lineages and everything.
Yes,
for
so
all
we don't know.
Yeah.
So, but we do promise, we do solemnly swear that when S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back, we will be up to date.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we are rearranging the sun and the stars right now to make sure that
The only reason we are not trying as hard for the Inhumans, not for lack of
ABC
trying.
didn't try as hard for the Inhumans.
The general public has stopped trying for the Inhumans.
Yeah.
So we'll just piggyback on that.
I'm glad I didn't pay to see it in IMAX. That's. I mean, you were a guinea pig. You went out and you drank the Kool-Aid.
I wanted to see it, just to see what it was, and I don't regret it. I think you asked me if I regretted it. Right. I don't. Mm-hmm. But obviously I didn't watch it again. Yeah. So I don't know what that says.
It says that you don't regret seeing it the first time, but you probably would have regretted seeing it the second time.
Maybe.
And one thing that I thought was strange for those of us who saw it on TV, or in my case,
I did. You explained this to me.
Yeah.
That did not happen in the movies.
So the last 7 minutes of the first episode is also the first 7 minutes of the second episode. And I was like, that's completely uncalled for because you aired them on the same night.
Yes.
If somebody's streaming them, they can watch them back to back. I understand like having a little 30-second, in previous episode. But yeah, this was not that.
That's not it.
When I started playing it, I was like, did I start the wrong episode? And so it's little things like that I probably wouldn't nitpick at if the show was stronger. Yeah. Yeah.
But there are things to like.
Yeah.
There are things I like. I didn't like. I was talking with a fella at GameStop, an employee at GameStop, who I have a S.H.I.E.L.D. wallet. He took notice. We started talking about ABC Marvel. Yeah. And naturally, the Inhumans came up, and he was, a rare people that I've heard say that they enjoy it. Right. But I will say, we both agreed that the scenes on Adelan were the weakest.
Oh, for sure.
And I think it just hampered, again, lack of character development, lack of budget.
Oh, yeah, and it shows.
And see, I know if they're going to try to explain it, it's a barren place. There's a reason why Maximus wants to get the H out of there. Right. Yes, I get that, but come on.
But I didn't believe that it existed. If S.H.I.E.L.D. can take me to the sandbox and all these other locations that obviously don't exist in the real world, and make me believe that those are actual secret bunkers, then Inhumans should be able to do the same. Take me to the moon.
And again, I think it goes back to we don't know what we're getting into.
Right.
So. Yeah, if they had maybe talked about it, if they maybe name dropped some things. I know probably when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started doing it in season 2, Marvel was still planning on making this a movie. Right. So I don't think...
I'm starting to think they should have gone with that idea.
Or, well, I don't know, maybe... But looking back in retrospect of that season and watching so far what we have the Inhumans, they could have definitely sprinkled a little more than just say Inhumans.
They could, yeah, because we have this one idea of the Inhumans with Daisy and with Afterlife and all that, and then you're going to give us this completely different idea. Yeah. And try to, make fans run towards it. And,
yes. Yeah. Which, if they had done it in the beginning, because at the time, the notion of everything S.H.I.E.L.D. has done with the Inhumans was the new thing. Right. The standard was what we were watching in Inhumans. Yeah. Had they had tied it in sooner, they obviously they couldn't probably put in these characters. Right. But maybe
name dropping, like you said, wouldn't have hurt.
But maybe some like painting, like The Last Supper, but with the royal family. It doesn't have to be this royal family. Again, like they said in the, when Medusa was talking, remember when we were in King and Queen?
Yeah.
They could have just had, in general,
right,
a king and queen of the Inhuman line.
Some allusion to it, know, other than thinking that Daisy's mom is responsible for this, because that's kind of the narrative that they were drawing more.
Yeah, but there are things I like. I do like the actress that plays Medusa.
Yeah.
It's not her fault that her hair, CGI just was off a bit.
Oh,
but they cut it.
They cut it, yeah.
And I think I'm interested to see what they do with the character now that she is stripped of her power.
Right.
Would we care more if we knew her? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's here, there.
But you do get an idea of how important her hair is to her.
Yes. I do like the actor that plays Karnak. Mm-hmm. But I've always liked him.
Yeah.
He was pretty much the only person when they announced the show that I knew. Okay. So it was like, okay, well, you get a free pass, kind of.
Yeah. I'm that way with the actor that plays Bolt. Because I remember him from Hell on Wheels, where he has a very distinct voice, a very distinct mannerism. And now we see him with no voice, and just seeing him drop down Earth, trying to communicate with people without communicating.
Yes, without Medusa.
Without Medusa, yeah.
And I will say I'm curious to see how they portray Gorgon for the rest of the series. Because I've had an idea of how I would have casted or pictured Gorgon whenever they said, hey, we're doing a movie. Yeah. And I had a few actors in mind, like a Joe Manganiello. Or a Gerard Butler. Oh, yeah. Those guys were Gorgon.
So you're trying to make their budget even higher?
Well, I mean, I assume when they were making the movie, they were going to...
that's true,
It was going to be higher. But that's who I was picturing. And then, you get this guy, and with those two actors I named, they were going to play it a lot more serious. This guy seems to play a lot more humorous. Yeah. That's something I didn't expect.
Yeah, I will give them that. The humor that's spread through these two episodes isn't too heavy. Yeah. Yeah, they just... put enough in there to keep it kind of lighthearted, but to keep the same seriousness.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't turn Gorgon into the Beryl Laughs character.
Right. Yeah.
It's just different from how I expected in my mind.
For sure. Yeah.
So nonetheless, it's like, okay, well, I'm interested to see where you're going. Yeah. That's about it. Yeah. Crystal needs to convince me.
Oh yeah, no, she's.
But you know what? Even in my head, when I was fan casting my movie, Crystal was still the weakest person in me.
Yeah, it's a secondary character who comes off as tertiary, and it's like, does she need to be in the show? Yeah, is she the Peyton of Inhumans?
But nonetheless, I mean, we don't know. Episode 3 in our time right now, as we were talking, will air tomorrow.
Yep, and it could blow us out of the water for all we know,
or just keep the same opinion. Yeah. But the thing I still want to stress is it's not that bad. No, it's not. And I'm pointing to this imaginary bulletin board of every review you've probably seen online. Yeah. It's not that bad.
Well, when we were talking off air, we kind of attributed it to stepping in bubblegum versus stepping in dog poop. Yeah. So it's not stepping in dog poop at all. It is definitely stepping in gum where it's you're not going to enjoy it.
It stinks. Yeah. And not stinks as in like the actual stinks. Right. It's just like it sucks.
Yeah, and it's not going to stay with you though.
Yeah. But it's something you don't want to do. Right. But it's not that bad.
Yeah. But if you disagree with us, feel free to, hit us up on Twitter, put a comment on here. Yeah. Let us know if you think we're wrong. Yes. We don't think we are, but
yeah. What is next?
I think we're going to the much better show.
Yes. We're going to go in space again.
In space, yeah. But this time we do like the characters, and we are learning more and more about them each time.
Yes. We are talking about the Orville. Yes. And we are on episode 4?
4, yes.
All right.
I keep getting my episode numbers from Star Trek and Orville mixed up because, they're on the same weeks, but Star Trek showed 2 of it, yeah. So it was all confusing in my head.
So you use the term episodic a lot when you refer to Star Trek. Yes. And you really appreciate how the Orville has become episodic.
I do, yeah.
For some people out there, what do you mean by episodic?
I mean, another term that's used, was used especially with Buffy, is monster of the week sort of thing, where it's like, hey, this is what's happening during this 45 minutes. There will be a through line that keeps going, but it's not going to be like a major plot thing. Like with Star Trek, it's anthological, where you have to watch one episode after the other. With this one, if you happen to miss episode 3, go watch it. But if you happen to miss episode 3 and you watch episode 4, you're not really going to be lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that because, they're trying to get... I think this is the type of sci-fi show that can get non-sci-fi fans watching because it has the name Seth MacFarlane attached to it.
Yes.
And a good way to do that is to make it something where you don't have to sit down and watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
that's very lovely description.
Thank you.
So
I got it monogrammed on a pillow.
So if you would like to just give a general gist of what happened on the Orville.
So far this is my favorite episode.
Really?
Of the Orville. Yes.
Okay.
Because one thing that Seth MacFarlane has done in everything, everything he's created, is he tries to talk about religion and the problems with tradition.
Yes.
And in everything I've seen him do it in, he has failed miserably, especially the episodes of Family Guy, where he does it, because it just comes off more insulting than actually making a commentary towards it.
I think some of it he did. He totally meant to be insulting.
Oh no, I have no doubt about that.
I think some of them was very much meant to be insulting.
Yeah. But it's if everything is either going to be bad and or insulting, are you really going to get any message across? With this one, though, is very subtle because, they're sailing around in space doing their thing, and they come across this, ancient ship.
Right.
But it's more like a biodome type ship, and there's a whole civilization that's been living there for thousands of years.
Yes.
Who do not know they're on a ship.
Right.
Because they believe what they're being told by this higher power, this creator.
Mm-hmm.
And, just the way they show that, how... from the outside looking in, it's easy to tell people, okay, well, you're wrong about this, wrong about that. But then you actually see why they believe what they believe. It was a very interesting commentary on that. And we get to see the understanding side, I think, of Seth MacFarlane as a writer, director, And we get to see, okay, this is how he can talk about religion without saying, these people on the ship are all idiots and they don't need to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they believe it, and this is the step that him and his crew can make to show them that, we're not saying you're wrong in believing what you believe, but here's a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very beautiful.
Thank you. Like I said, favorite episode so far.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you like the secret cameo?
Yes. Should we give it away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Qui-Gon Jinn was taken in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I was not expecting Liam Neeson.
Seth has some famous friends.
He does.
So that's going to be kind of a thing now we're going to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Who can he get to cameo in an episode or guest star?
Yeah, in the case of the next episode where we have Charlize Theron.
Who doesn't do TV.
Right.
At all.
But it's no secret because she's in the preview.
Yes.
Liam Neeson was completely
he was a cameo.
surprised.
I think Charlize Theron's role in the next episode is more central to the episode.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, would you agree, because this is episodic, he can convince people to be like, hey, could you mind coming in for an episode?
Definitely. Because you have someone like Liam Neeson, if they were like, okay, we want you to be the creator and we want you to be in 15 episodes. So basically you have to give us this much time. Don't worry about, doing movies and things like that you love doing. We want you for this small TV show on a network.
Yes.
They would have ended up having to get somebody else, probably.
Yes. But and Charlize Theron, hey, you're going to be whatever character.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a recurring role.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not talking the John Delancey type actors here that can pop in and out of different things. The cameo kings.
Yes. But I enjoy it because it was a commentary on things.
Yeah.
But in a very sci-fi way.
Yeah.
You don't think you're listening to another argument. You're just wondering, hey, come on, people on a ship.
Yeah, because it's easy for us as the audience to also see that they're on a ship.
Yeah.
Come
on, people on a ship. You got to believe Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, you're hurtling towards the sun. You're going to die.
Yes. Please believe him.
Yeah.
And I again like what they're doing with the characters between people on the Orville.
Yeah,
just the relationships. I just think it's been more and more interesting to see how they react and interact with each other.
I like that we don't know who's going to live and die each episode. That's also something nice about being kind of episodic there. So yeah, I can't think of character's name right now.
Alara?
Alara, yeah. When she gets shot, you don't know if she's gonna make it. You know.
And also, I mean, I'm not trying to judge this young lady, but her resume so far doesn't point towards a show like this.
Right.
So sometimes I worry about her. It's like, do you want to be on the show?
Right.
With that makeup on? Because you don't look like someone that could possibly well be known for playing an alien for the rest of your career. You look like you want to be your role in Neighbors.
Right. Yeah.
No offense.
No.
But when I read the actress, like, okay, well, you're stepping into this. Yeah. And you're not playing someone like Adrian Palicki where you just have to put on a suit.
Right, yeah. And you're also not some background character that we may or may not notice.
You have makeup. Yeah. And wigs.
Yep. So, and lines.
Yes. Yes. So that's just me.
Yeah, but I think she's doing a really good job with the character.
I enjoy her. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want her to go.
Right.
She's quickly become one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that's why I got worried when she got shot. It's like, all right, are we going to do a Joss Whedon thing where it's like nobody is safe? This is a Star Trek question. Original series. Did anyone die on the ship? In the original series?
Like major?
No. I mean, technically Spock died in the movies, but he came back.
I meant in the show.
Yeah.
They ran for 3 years?
Yeah, two seasons, and nobody major died, because they all made it into the movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just had to double check that nobody died and came back, because that happened both with Kirk and with Spock in the movies.
Right.
So
I was just making sure. I was like, so...
Yeah, I can't even think in like any of the other series of anybody major dies. Yeah.
So if Seth is following a little of the Star Trek groove,
yeah,
though some of our people will be relatively safe.
Yeah, anybody with lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, we're still into the Orville, huh?
Yeah, I think so. And the way they're doing the previews for like the following episodes, I really enjoy. It reminds me more of Marvel than DC, because it's like, so we see Charlize Theron and we have this idea that she's going to be this bad guy because of the way they're showing it, but we really don't know. Yeah.
We'll know tonight.
Yeah, we'll know tonight. as of this recording, we'll know. So by the time you guys hear this, you'll also know.
Well, I watch it on Hulu.
Okay.
And I don't know if I just stop after the episode airs. So where does the preview? I've never seen a preview.
Oh, it's at the very end. I've been watching it on demand.
Okay. I just I mean, I like it. I'm gonna come back regardless.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. Hulu needs to get on that. They need, because I always noticed that with Shield is you didn't really get any like in the next episode.
No. Yeah. Well, with the Orville, I'm not in suspense because it is not that type of show. Right. There is no like big, life-changing cliffhanger that they tease at the end.
Yeah, no.
You just watch it. So I don't need to go, oh man, what's going to happen next? I'm just going to say, well, I'll watch it.
It's like reading, different books from a series, not like Harry Potter or something, but like from any sci-fi series where it's like, okay, what's going to happen in this book? What's going to happen in this one? You know the characters, but you don't know what kind of adventure they're going to go on.
Yeah, with S.H.I.E.L.D., I know after the episode airs, I definitely go to the good old YouTube and look for the preview.
Yeah.
So it's almost a routine now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, it's 5 years. It's been 5 years. That's just how I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, speaking of following like Star Trek's groove, I like that even though McFarlane uses some sci-fi tropes, there are still things that surprise me in it.
Okay, like what?
So, like with, the fact that they have this whole civilization, find out that it's 2,000 years old, didn't really see that coming. Didn't see a big moonroof coming, a big sunroof coming in the top of the ship. I mean, this one had less surprises than like the gender change one, but there's still little things that they pop in there that, and the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong because I might be misremembering, in this episode they never actually tell the people to stop believing what they believe. They just kind of show them what's out there so they can get away from the danger, and then go back to the Orville.
I think you're correct.
Yeah. And that really surprised me as far as watching Seth MacFarlane stuff.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
I think you are correct on that.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. But obviously, for the Seth MacFarlane fan, in the room, I do enjoy the moments of Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes when he needs to pull big.
Yeah.
I remember the one joke, the one little joke that went just a shade longer. But again, I mean, I've seen him go longer, and I've still watched. So
I was say it went longer for normal TV, not for Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. The dick thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just when he said check your comms, I thought he was still talking about the space station. It's like, oh no, we're still on
this.
We're still on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to bring it back up later, it was very MacFarlane.
I was like, oh wow, I have seen you do worse.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And not worse to me, but worse in the sense of like I've seen you go further. That's the correct term.
Yeah, further on Fox too. Yeah. So not even further like just in the movies.
Yeah. And the MVP Seth MacFarlane moment was when they were in disguise and they were about to infiltrate the mayor's place to save Adrian Palicki. Oh my God, Scott!
Yeah, no, that was great right there.
No, not from the cross.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
It was,
but that's not a sci-fi thing. You would not have seen that in Star Trek.
No, but it puts that realism in there that I talked about from when we talked about the first episode or two. That stuff that he puts in there like that is stuff that if we were in space right now and working on a space station, this is the type of conversations that would go on. That's how you wouldn't just sneak in Picard style. You would sneak in human style, like a regular person.
Exactly. You know? So those are moments that I definitely enjoy. The reasons why he's doing the show instead of like J.J. Abrams.
Right.
Not that I don't enjoy the movies you brought.
Right.
Because I think you definitely... JJ has definitely brought a little more of that human thing you're talking about. But, we're talking about Seth right now.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But that's I mean, I don't have too much to say because I'm not really a religious fan.
Yeah, me either.
And I don't want to bring that up or anything, but just, I just like the episode, I definitely understood where he was going with it, but I don't have too much else to say other than, hey, solid episode again, guys.
Yeah. I'm hoping though that he kind of starts packing a couple like more sci-fi kind of semi-filler episodes, so he doesn't run out of relevant topics.
Well,
because I'd like to see this keep going for a while.
Well, from the way I read, not seen, the Charlize Theron one, that might be it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to say something major in every single episode.
Yeah.
It's been great so far, but eventually you run out of topics.
Right.
And then you just start repeating yourself. And,
yes.
Yeah. So before we get into the big premiere this week, I'm going to kind of segue in, still in space here.
Yes.
As far as Star Trek goes,
how is that?
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of giving like a weekly play-by-play, I'm just going to kind of hit a few points. And then at the end of this first section, I think, which is November-ish, I'll give like a whole review on it.
Right.
Spoilers and all. But with this one, we're finally on the Discovery.
What episode are you on?
Three. Yeah, which is why it gets confusing with Orville.
When you say you're on Discovery, so you're finally on...
You are on the physical ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lucius Malfoy is in it.
Lucius Malfoy is in it, but if I did not know it was him, would not have guessed it.
I think that's the thing that definitely separates Jason Isaacs versus Tom Felton. That's Tom Felton's hair.
It is.
That is not Jason Isaacs' hair. So when you take that away from him...
Yeah, I mean, you take that away and then he doesn't sound anything like a Malfoy. He sounds like kind of a semi-Southern type guy. You look at him and you go, this is the captain of the starship. Yeah. So he's very believable. I like how this... How can I explain this without getting too spoilery? I like how when it starts out, you kind of don't like him. I think... Seth MacFarlane would call him a dick and then go on about it for too long. But then by the end, you're like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I see what your plan is here.
Now, so this is the first Star Trek show where the central character is not the captain, right?
Correct.
So yeah. Michael is still...
she's still the... We're seeing everything through her eyes, so to speak.
So what in relation to the show is the captain? I mean, do we still follow the captain? Do we care about the captain?
As of this episode, I mean, we care about him because we see his plan. Because at first we cared to hate him. Now we care to like him.
Right.
But as of this first episode, you barely see him. I mean, he comes in at a couple crucial states, and then he comes in at the very end to give the like major exposition that will keep us, going story-wise. But yeah, I think we see him 3 times in this whole episode, and and I think each time is with Michael. We don't like see him in his quarters by himself or anything like that, unless Michael's walking in there, you know. So what we know is what Michael knows, sort of thing, and I like that. So we're not the omnipotent watcher.
Something different for you?
It is, yeah. So it also, like Orville, it keeps me with a few surprises, even though there are tropes in there, because there has to be. It is Star Trek.
Yeah.
There are things that I'm, as a fan, going to expect. But then there's things that don't. Like, there's a cadet that Michael's roommating with. She is kind of the comic relief, which you don't normally have in Star Trek. She is very human. She dreams of being captain one day, but she kind of has she has allergies. She has these, fears of how people judge her and all that. She's got all these very human qualities to her, which make you kind of root for her.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, you can be captain. You can be whatever you want to be.
Be all that you can be.
Yeah. And then we see, one of the returning characters who I can bite my tongue off right now because I can't remember his name.
The actor or the character?
It's Doug Jones as the actor.
Okay, then.
Yeah. It's a new alien, so forgive me, fans, for not remembering his species
Not yet.
name. But on the Discovery, he's the commander. He's the one under the captain.
He's the Spock?
Basically.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's not Michael?
No.
Oh.
Well, she's still the one who was arrested for mutiny.
So what would be her equivalence?
Well, right now, nothing.
Really?
Yeah, because, she doesn't really accept a spot in the Discovery until towards the end there. So it's like, is she going to be a lieutenant? Is she going back to private? Is she... But what I like about Doug Jones' character is you would think that, he's happy to see his old shipmate back and it's going to be this great reunion and all that. But no, there is so much tension. He admits that he is scared of her, that she is a dangerous person, good at what she does. And I'm trying to remember the exact quote, but he goes, I had respect for you and I liked everything you did until that thing you did. And I was just like, and I even got chills just thinking about the quote again. I was like, that what he brings to that character is very cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
And Anthony Rapp's in it. And if you're a fan of musicals like Rent, then familiar with him. And he's the first openly gay from his first episode ship crew member. Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
So. I know him from Road Trip.
Okay. Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So I went more into a review than I meant to on that, but yeah.
Well, you still didn't tell us what happened. So
yeah.
I think you still stayed true to specifically what you're aiming to do with Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah. But I will say there is, I thought I said this earlier, but I said it off air. There is an allusion towards Spock, possibly, because Michael was talking to her new roommate about growing up on Vulcan, and her mother Amanda, which is Spock's mom, reading to her and her brother. But the way she words it is, my mother would read to me and my brother. We were both human. So is she talking about another person who is also human, or is she referring to Amanda, who was, in canon human? So,
what do you think?
I think she's talking about Spock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they're giving it to you?
Yeah.
So. This is supposed to be canon in the original series, right?
Right, yeah.
And as I read on the wiki, but I'm going to ask you, because you're a human, Spock's never talked about any other person in his life.
Yeah. I mean, he talked about his
mother
and his father, and that was it, because that's, what Vulcans do, I guess,
But he is half Vulcan.
He is half Vulcan.
So, but still, he's never talked about it.
There should have been some mention.
So, what do you think? If you were to guess so far, we're only 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
I think they're aiming to probably have this show go on for as long as they can. What do you think could be from that? Just pure judgment right now.
I'm thinking that eventually they kill her off, and it just hits Spock in such a way that he never talks about it, because the Vulcan side of him refuses to express that emotion there. So, because I mean, she never, as far as canon goes, she never shows up in like a captain roster. So we can assume now that she will never be promoted to captain status.
Right. Do you want to see people from the original series?
Oh, for
As
sure.
in, like, characters?
Yeah.
So,
but there can also be ones from Enterprise, because this is like the year after Enterprise ended, and then 10 years before.
Enterprise is
the Scott Bakula.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Scott Bakula is his first.
I mean, he was Captain Archer, yeah.
But chronologically, Enterprise is before Discovery?
Enterprise is before Discovery, which is before the original series.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but as far as like literal, like if we think about this in a real life time sort of way, it's 10 years before the original series, 1 year after Enterprise. So there are people alive on both sides that could easily show up. I mean, we could have like a young rookie Kirk, you know.
But you'll have to recast.
Right, yeah.
You know, that's just that.
Yeah.
And you'll have to obviously recast Spock if they chose to go that route.
Right, yeah.
But would you be happy to see Enterprise people?
I would, yeah, because I mean, Enterprise is not great as a series that was. I think if they would have not been canceled and given a little bit more of a chance, they could have done something.
Maybe they can end some things on here.
They could. Yeah.
I mean, it's a Star Trek.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, it's all within the same universe. So
I mean, you know, writers.
Yeah.
You know, you can do it.
They literally have the power.
Yes. How long until TNG?
That's I'm not sure off the top of my head. I don't have my notes in front of me like last week.
But it's a while.
Oh yeah. No, we're not going to see Picard on
so
this.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, just in a literal timeline.
Can we see Worf?
No. Worf is pretty young.
Yeah.
Klingon, you know, for a Klingon.
Well, that's why I'm asking you and not Wiki.
Yeah, because I'm sure there are people with opinions on how it could work. I mean, with time travel and all that, and wormholes, I mean, you can make anything.
Well, I mean, JJ made an entire universe now.
Yeah.
So mixing the two, so you know, nothing's off topic.
But I would like, since this is so early in the Star Trek world, if they kind of kept it more realistic. So if you see like maybe a young Bones who is training in the medical field, you know, where he's not given any like great role or anything like that, but it's like, you know, he's you know, a named character in there.
Well, fantastic. Well, I look forward to your reviews.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the day that we can all see Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
Without paying.
Right.
Because that's, from the way you describe and the way the show has been reviewed, I would watch the show.
Yeah.
But
if it was on Netflix or on Hulu, then I would recommend everybody just jumping on board.
Yes. But it's not.
But I can't, for $8 a month, I can't recommend it yet. You know.
Yeah. That's what's stopping me.
Yeah.
So CBS, if you're listening, I would probably buy merchandise.
Yeah. Well, merchandise should be coming out at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, I would do that. I would be watching it, giving you numbers, but it's just, the price is too steep.
Yeah, because there's nothing, like we've mentioned before, there's nothing else on that app that's pulling me in.
You have to watch.
Right.
Like, I mean, there are certain episodes of 2.5 Men I enjoy, but I don't have to watch them ever again.
I'm definitely not paying for 2.5 Men.
I don't have to watch them again.
Yeah.
I remember watching them the first two times or so.
And Young Sheldon is on demand, so I don't have to worry about paying for it.
Oh, well.
Actually, a good show, though.
Well.
Yeah. It's no...
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Just no reasons.
Yeah.
But here are some reasons.
Here's a reason to watch Fox.
Yes, going back to Fox.
Yes.
So we started off Fox in space, and we just drifted off in space, but we're landing back on Fox.
And we're bookending with Marvel and Marvel.
Yes.
So we almost have a theme going.
Yes. This is Fox Marvel. And for those people still new, I hate to be presumptuous and thinking people just know these things, but it is something I still have to explain. The difference between like Sony Marvel, and Fox Marvel.
Right.
Like
now Netflix Marvel.
Well, at least ABC and Netflix Marvel still falls under Marvel.
True, yeah.
But to explain why you will never see the X-Men with Marvel, it's still something. It's like, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, it's like, why is Deadpool never on S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So this is Fox Marvel. So Fox Marvel is pretty much now the X-Men world.
Right. Which is, like with First Class is an excellent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Gifted premiered,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna say it off the bat.
Yeah.
I was in an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not this one.
Not this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm in,
Yeah.
but I did have a special mission the other week. It was for the Gifted.
Yeah.
And it was a good time.
Yeah, you didn't have to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
That I know of.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you would know if you signed something.
Well, I just signed my pay stub.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
But some of the other missions you've been on, they've specifically...
Oh, there was a specific sheet of papers for that.
So this piece of paper...
And for those still curious, I still can't talk about it.
Right, yeah.
But
for Gifted, there was no paper.
Well, the show is out.
Right.
So I'm gonna throw caution in the air like that.
Yeah.
The show's out.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything worth spoiling.
Yeah, no spoiling.
If anything, I just got to see the beautiful Amy actress work.
Yeah.
And that was just great in itself. But enough about my experience with it. Let's talk about the first episode.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hashtag this episode Amy actress, since that's what you just called her.
Yeah, I did.
You said the beautiful Amy actress. Yeah. We could, you can listen to the episode and rehear that.
Let's stop.
Are you, you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back. So you
saw
the beautiful Amy actress.
Amy actress, yeah. I'm sorry, Amy Acker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true. She is beautiful. Her name is Amy, and she is an actress.
But listening to that, I really want to talk about some of those other special missions.
Yeah.
Especially because a show premiered on Crackle, a second season.
Yeah.
And that is very vital to a story I have about a specific thing that happened, but I can't talk.
Which, for the record, I have no clue what you're talking about. For the record.
You don't?
For the record, I have no clue what you're talking about. Off the record, I have every clue what you're talking about.
But I just want to I want to say it, but we're not there yet.
Right, yeah. But we are on Gifted.
Yeah.
So since I gave the little plot synopsis of Orvo, how about you take Gifted here?
Sure. So the way I've told people, imagine if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's like Marvel without the Avengers.
Right.
That is a good thing to some.
Yeah.
And for most, it's been a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Not us.
Not us, obviously.
They wouldn't be on Fridays if it was a great thing for everybody.
Yeah.
What the Gifted, I've akin it to, it's like mutants without the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we follow so far an undisclosed year, assuming today.
Right.
Assuming today in the year 2017 or 16, whenever they decided to make this show.
Yeah.
And mutants are again on the run. They are definitely not allowed anymore. Right. Mm-hmm. And the X-Men are nowhere to be found. Nor is the Brotherhood. Right. So there is.
But both are mentioned.
Both are mentioned.
Yeah.
Very much, but nowhere to be found. So if you're a mutant, you cannot go to the Xavier School for the Gifted.
Right.
You are pretty much on the run.
Mm-hmm.
And we first meet Blink, who, if you've seen Days of Futures Past, it was that really cool mutant that could teleport portals.
Right.
She's definitely young in this.
Yeah.
Because I saw her on the run. And that I know the actress, Jamie Chung. She's been on my list for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, whoa, you're Blink. Just do your thing.
Right, yeah.
And I forget, you're young Blink. You really have to try.
Yeah, you're still learning those powers.
Yeah. So, but she did manage to escape with her portals. She's running away from the cops. And she's rescued by a new mutant, Eclipse, which I'll get into later.
Yeah.
Thunderbird, and Polaris.
Right.
And Polaris gets captured, and so sad for her. Yeah. And then we see regular people. Mm-hmm. So Amy Acker's family, her two children with her husband Stephen Moyer.
Yeah.
Most would know him as Bill from True Blood. I don't, but most would.
Most would, yeah.
That show didn't run for 8 years?
11 billion seasons.
If nobody liked him.
Right.
So that's that. Stephen Moyer's character plays a kind of attorney for the state or something. Yeah. That's what I gather. He prosecutes mutants / helps them.
But quote unquote, only bad mutants.
Only bad mutants.
Yeah.
But in the eyes of the world right now, it's all.
Right. They're all bad.
Yes. Amy Acker plays, just from what I gather, a regular, housewife. you know, homemaker. That's okay.
Yeah.
And the two children, I've already forgotten their names.
Yeah.
Both of them. Both of them. But they're just portrayed as, you know, one's, you know, the older sister's the popular girl.
Right.
And the younger one, you know, is kind of like, you know, that weird socially awkward kid.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you take out the mutants, it's a typical Fox show.
Yeah, family Fox drama.
Yeah.
And that's
And
what they do best.
Yeah.
But now they're adding just the other thing that they own, which is mutants. So, you know, we're led to believe, if you don't know anything about the show, we're led to believe, okay, well, we're going to see how maybe this family's always going to interact with the mutants we met in the first scene.
Right.
How is this? So the younger person in the family is getting bullied.
Yeah.
And very savagely bullied for no reason.
Yeah.
And every, you know, that's something that's, that TV casting is really mastered. They really know how to pick out TV actor bullies.
They do.
Because you look at them,
all the writers getting bullied growing up.
Because you look at them, you're like, yeah, you look like. I mean, I don't want to judge your personal life. Maybe you're a nice person,
right?
But for this scene, you
look like a jerk.
Yeah, and it really reflects. And that's when his mutant powers appeared. Right. What his mutant power is, they never really...
Yeah, it's like, does he cause earthquakes? Does he just shake houses?
So far, I'm thinking... I didn't think the earthquake part, but I'm thinking more telekinetic, just massive amounts of, like, Carrie-esque telekinetics. Right. Yeah. Whereas his sister, we also learned from that because they're at, like, a school dance, and they take the little brother into, like, the locker room and shower him.
Yeah. It's... And thankfully, I never got bullied growing up. So.
Thankfully, I never been bullied like that. Right. So, that's that. So, his mutant powers manifest there. And his sister rescues him through all the rubble. Right. And how we know she's a mutant, because there were things about to fall on her. She has the ability to manipulate air. Right. And make barriers. Yeah. Handy. Yeah, very handy.
And obviously, they spent more money on their special effects than ABC did on Inhumans.
Yes. Yeah. But again, I think it's because Fox believes in them.
Right. Yeah. Because her shielding looks good. I mean,
legit.
I mean, it's obviously a special effect.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. There's not like a giant umbrella. They just whoosh.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's believable. Like when she did it the first time, I was like, good effect. Yeah. Because, well, you know, with telekinetics, like the Carrie-esque thing, with when the little brother started manifesting his powers, I mean, that's...
Yeah, you make things shake and, you know,
that's practical. People have been doing that forever. Yeah. Like, that's, you know, I don't want to demean, you know, special effects people.
They did it well, but, you know, it's been done. Yeah. You know?
But that, I think what I'm getting at is those can be practical. Yeah. Whereas Girl we'll know these people's names later, people.
We will, yeah.
I think I've only focused on, like, the mutant names.
Yeah, and Amy Acker.
Yeah. Which I forgot her character name, too.
Yeah.
And I saw her.
Yeah.
I'm in a scene with her.
Nice.
And I don't.
But in your head, you were in a scene with Amy Acker.
I was.
You weren't in a scene with a character.
I was about to make you say that.
Yeah, I know.
I almost got you.
Yeah.
That's true. I was in I got to see a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, still don't know their names. Right. But I know the mutants' names. The one mutant I did see when I was on set was Thunderbird. Okay. Blair Redford's character. He plays the mutant Thunderbird. I saw him only because I already knew him. I was like, oh my god, it's Thunderbird.
Now, one thing that kind of surprised me watching this right off the bat is a very small thing, and most people wouldn't care about it. But it actually takes place in Atlanta.
Yes.
Which is where it's filmed.
Yes.
And nowadays that is so rare that they coincide.
Yes. Because, you know, a lot of things are filmed in Atlanta these days, but how many of them actually are in Atlanta? Like, the story takes place in Atlanta.
Do you mean the Asgard is not in Atlanta?
It's not. Oh, nor is Kurt Russell's head.
It might be.
It might be.
I mean, at the time of filming, it is.
Well, actually, you know what? I stand corrected on that. But anyway, so these children are now revealed as mutants. Mm-hmm. They're very scared. Yeah. And they have nowhere to turn. So, you know, their parents, you know, take them and skate with them. Yes. And they're at least worried at first because, you know, as the girl said, Dad puts people like us in jail. Yeah. But no, he is a good dad in this. He's like, I will stand by.
Yeah, because it becomes personal.
It does become personal. As stated by the Sentinel Service agent, which already looks like a jerk.
Yeah.
I know. I think there were a couple of lines that he alluded that he too is a father, so he understands.
Right. He's like, sure you do.
But it's like, yeah, sure you do.
Yeah.
It's like, I hope I don't like you already.
Yeah, and that's really good casting on their part, though, because we're not supposed to like them. We're supposed to be on the mutant side.
Yes,
here.
exactly. So he, forges an alliance with the very people he was trying to jail. Mm-hmm. And that's at least where the first episode kind of takes us. Yeah. But overall, I thought it was very solid beginning.
It was. I had less distance time-wise between watching Inhumans and watching Gifted, like literally yesterday and today. So when Gifted started, and the way they started, it kind of throws you into action right there. And I thought they were going to make the same mistake Inhumans did, where it's like, you're going to put us with these B, C, and D list mutants, maybe some that don't even exist in the comics, and expect us to know what's going on.
One of them, at least, does not exist in the comics. One of them is, I think the character's name is Marco, and they give him the moniker Eclipse. Okay. And he does not exist. Okay. That I'm aware of. Yeah. So anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, I thought that they were going to do that with Gifted, too, because, everybody knows about mutants, so we can just throw you right in here.
Well, to be fair, I think if I were a Fox Marvel, I would bet that the public does know more about mutants.
Yeah, no, that people know more about mutants than they do Inhumans.
The Fox Marvel would say, like, we haven't been putting mutant movies out for 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
For no reason. Yeah. So if they did that route, they don't. Right. I would forgive them more for it.
But it turns out that first action part was just the hook to get you watching. Yeah. And then it slows down and actually, explains things. Yes. Shows us what's going on in this world.
Well, the thing, if we're going to compare opening scenes, and I can see why you say they're similar. The first scene we see of the Inhumans is a Inhuman running. Yeah. Then she dies. So you're like, what was the point? Right. At least in, spoiler, at least in the Gifted, the person running.
We're not spoiling Inhumans. We're saving people from having to watch it.
The first scene of Gifted, no, we're still following Blink.
Right, yeah.
That wasn't a throwaway action sequence. Yeah. We're still with her.
But at that very beginning, you don't necessarily care about her. I mean, you don't...
Well, I did.
I mean, you did.
But beyond... But not because of this show. The show didn't make me care about her. I've already cared about her.
Right, yeah. You cared about her more as a person than as a...
Needless to say, I was pretty disappointed when neither she nor the actress who plays Polaris was there that day. Yeah. I did see her chair.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, yay.
Did you try to sit in it?
No.
Okay. I too much respect for the actors.
And I mean, come on. We've done episodes of this. I know what to do on set.
Yeah. You would hate for your last extra's job to be because you sat in somebody's chair.
Exactly. Yeah. But nonetheless, they weren't there. I was pretty disappointed about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but again, we were following Blink. There's a reason why, and also the person that rescues the running person in the Inhumans also could be dead. Yeah. And the people that rescues Blink, I mean, one of them got caught, but they're still around. Yeah. I think that's where it divides.
Yeah, and then we get to actually meet people and get to know about them and find out, like about the dad being a prosecutor for bad mutants, which he considered every mutant bad before one was in his family.
Yeah, two. Yeah. So I think that's if we're definitely comparing,
it's hard not to.
Well, that's an obvious way. Yeah. I never yesterday when we were talking just off air, you were talking about how you're worried that Gifted may follow that. I was like, I wonder how.
Because that was before I watched it.
And I wonder how. And then it wasn't until right now I was like, they do both start off with a running sequence away from armed men.
Right.
How about that?
So it's hard not to make that comparison.
It is, but
thankfully, Gifted runs in the right direction.
It does.
Yeah.
In every way.
In every way. Yeah.
And it does explain powers because if you did enjoy Days of Futures Past and if you do remember Blink in that, she was creating portals and teleporting left and right. Yeah. The one in the show can barely make one. Right. And she also explains why she can't just do it. She has to, much like Nightcrawler, she has to see where she's going.
Right, yeah.
And there is a cost if she just does it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see.
And it's nice that when they do explain things, it's very quick and it fits into the script.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're going to take this moment here to explain how mutants get their powers.
Yes. And it's not, well, I guess we should explain why your powers work in a certain way. It's like, no, there was a reason why she was explaining it.
Yeah.
And there are allusions to other people's powers. I mean, granted, it's the first episode. They'll probably do a little bit of explaining in future episodes.
Right.
Like with Thunderbird, we still don't really know his power. We can just get the sense of, well, he's obviously a good tracker. Right. With Polaris, if you don't know her comic lineage, by the way, she's the daughter of Magneto, the real daughter of Magneto. Right. In the show, you can see she, controls metal. Yeah. She doesn't explain anything. It just is. Yeah. And, will she explain it later?
Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. But we'll see. But I'm in. I'm in the show. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I like the fact that I don't really see where it's going.
Yeah.
So I want to
I will say that actually segues into my next point.
Yeah.
And then it will segue to the next point. I will say
a double segue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where it's going, but I do know where certain things are going. Yeah. And this is going to be my old man rant of ish late social media.
Oh, yes.
Because you know what? I hope he changes. But in that first episode, I could care less about the Marco character.
Right.
When he got shot a couple times, I hoped he was going to die.
Wow.
And
harsh but true.
Well, that's just that. I was like, I don't like you. I like Thunderbird better. Right. Maybe because I've watched Thunderbird and switched to Earth, so I already knew him.
Okay.
And at least Blank and Polaris are very attractive ladies.
Right.
I was like, what are you here for?
It's like you either gotta be a good actor or eye candy.
Yeah.
You can't be neither.
And that guy, so far that guy's like, yeah, you're neither.
Right.
So when he got shot, I was like, oh good. Oh good. That's the shock of you're still here.
It's like you're really good at dying. Oh, you even suck at that.
So, I had my hopes up after watching the episode. I was like, well, maybe he'll die later. Yeah. Maybe in the next few episodes. Well, thanks to social media, of all the actors in the show, minus the ones with lives. Right. I'm talking about Stephen Moyer and Amy Acker. Because I'm sure they're like, we're going home.
Right. We have families.
Yeah. But all the younger generation, they went out to eat. And yay, Instagram video. Yay, Instagram picture. Oh, look, there's the actor that plays Marco. So
he could have just been invited.
He could have just been invited. Yeah. But it's like, I doubt that. It looks like you guys just came back from work.
It probably is. Yeah.
So it's like, well, that's not a comprehensive spoiler, but for me it's like, at least I know you're around for a while.
Right. But remember how we didn't like Major and then we liked him? So maybe Marco will be the Major?
Yeah, but then we also didn't like him.
I purposely left that part out just for Marco's sake. So maybe we will grow to like him. Because honestly, before you brought up Marco, before we recorded, I forgot about him.
Well, see.
So I had to look in my mind. I was like, did he mean from Flash? No. I mean, no. Marco. Oh, yeah. From Gifted.
And his name could be something else. That just shows.
Right, yeah.
How little. But Thunderbird, Polaris, and Blink, I'm with you.
For sure, yeah.
And the family, I'm with you too. We would just...
I'm sure you all have lovely names.
We'll get to... Their last name was Strucker.
There you go. That's more than I remembered, so...
But we will get your names.
Yeah.
I can't believe we forgot.
No.
Because during my review, I was like, we meet...
Yes.
The girl, boy, husband, wife.
Right. That lovely family of four.
Yes.
Yeah.
But going into a segue of social media, so we are going to have another rant. This is going to be a joint rant.
It will be. Marvel, you're safe.
You're safe. Don't worry. Believe me, if we have a social media rant on Marvel, something happened.
Yeah.
You need to fire that person.
Right, yeah.
But this is DC. And here's the thing. We have said this many times before. Can you keep a secret?
Yeah.
Can you really just not? So, and it started because I've said to many people, because the CW universe is starting next week.
Yes.
And this is the first time where I'm kind of meh about The Flash.
Same. Yeah.
I'm actually light years more excited for Supergirl.
For sure.
And this is coming from someone who didn't watch season 1.
Right.
And still
hasn't.
Won't watch season 1.
Yeah.
But something about Supergirl I'm just really looking forward to, whether because we're getting a new villain, I want to see how the character deals with losing Mon-El.
Yeah.
And all the crazy thing that's going to happen. I'm curious.
We want those puppy dogs and rainbows back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash?
If I believe at the very end of the last season, we were excited still.
Well, I was.
But then, like the day after,
well, and we'd have to go back to listening to that episode. But we were very excited because with Barry going away, and it's that natural thing when you strip a show of its biggest strength. How does it survive?
Right.
It's interesting to see characters and shows do that.
Right.
So what we thought was going to happen was, oh, cool. We're going to see how the show is going to do without its main person.
Yeah, we get to see Wally be the Flash.
We get to see other characters really step up in the absence of Barry.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're not going to do it forever, but it'd be cool to see them do it.
Half a season.
Yeah. 6 episodes of
episode?
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be half an episode because...
I wouldn't even time it just at that. I might give them like the first 10 minutes.
Well, once they started promoting The Flash, I mean, we did not think Grant Gustin was going away. Let's just get that clear. We didn't think he was not part of the show anymore.
Right.
It was just...
But he had to make a penance for the things he had done.
Yeah, and that was...
pay for it.
That was the beauty of the ending.
Right.
And with everything coming out lately,
he's had to pay for nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they might say, "Oh, well, it takes place X amount of time." Yeah, but to us, it's been no time.
Right. Yeah. You can't tell us 10 years later when it's only been a few months.
Yeah. In a hard time. That's
right.
No, we don't like that.
No.
And at least the first trailer, you didn't think from the first trailer, the Comic-Con trailer, that Barry is coming back immediately. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And
then the next trailer comes out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Because between the trailers, we got the pictures of the new suit. And we're like, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, whenever he comes back, he's going to have a new suit.
And I like the new suit.
Yeah. And that's fine, keep upgrading.
Yeah.
But, when you come back 6, 8 episodes in, that's fine.
Yeah. And then the next trailer, but he comes back wrong. But he still came back.
Yeah.
And then we look from the actor who plays Wally on Instagram. He posted pictures of episode 2. Yeah. Yep, they're just
there.
They're just there.
Yeah,
they're. And I messaged.
They have no non-disclosure agreement.
And I messaged the Beard going, they're not even trying.
No,
they're not even trying to do anything with that. So.
And then when they,
but see the thing, I think maybe it's just the Flash people.
I think so
because I don't know much about Supergirl.
No, we know the new villain.
Yeah, but they've said that.
Yeah,
we don't know what she looks like.
Yeah, but even then it was like, okay, we announced the actress and a name. That's all we're giving.
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
I don't know much about Supergirl.
No,
and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I know a lot about the Flash.
Yeah, we know more than we want to know about the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and we know the whole crossover thing, revolves around his and Iris's wedding.
Again, that's another thing. I said this last week. I'll say it again. I just want to put it out in the universe. Like, that could have also been, because he comes back wrong. They could have created some drama, some tension around that.
And I'm sure there will be for that first 7 episodes, but then by episode 8, we know it's going to get...
Yeah.
The drama part will get resolved.
Yes, because we know that already. So we're watching potentially their little story. It's like, well, obviously you're going to get married.
Yeah.
Like, we know that.
It's the reason I don't watch Gotham, is because I know you become Batman.
Yeah.
There's no worry, there's no drama there.
Yes. Oh, I know one person that will definitely fight you on that.
Yeah, I mean, but now he's literally becoming Batman in this season from what I've heard.
So, yeah, and it's like, oh, good.
Proved my point.
14-year-old Batman, that's what we want?
Yeah. It's definitely not the hero we want, but it might be the one we deserve.
I know some people deserve it.
Yeah.
But, come on, CW.
Yeah.
But next week, when we review stuff, we will be watching everything now.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting for us. We're back in our regular element.
Yep.
And also, I'd like to say we will not be doing our viewing of The Thing.
No, that's been postponed.
That's been postponed. Well, because the ghost we call Mike has been exorcised.
Yes.
But like all Exorcist movies, they either come back or maybe they won't.
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
There's a season 2 of Exorcist
As well, like, hey,
because Fox, I guess,
that wasn't a guarantee.
Fox is just throwing money around everything.
So he may be back, he may be not, but we'll see. Until then, though.
I guess that's it. See you next week.